To episode 10 of the NWA Flashback series. Episode 10. This has been the first time in about 12 months. I'm joined once again by the incomparable Lissy Almeida, the face of Coastal Championship Wrestling. We are blessed to have her presence here. I'm here blessed by the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the 16-time heavyweight champion of the world. Lissy, we are here to watch the I'm thinking 9th of November 1985 episode of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Do you remember this from last year? We were going back through 1995. This was like Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, Dusty Rhodes. Do you have any recollections, memories of this time?
I try not to be honest.
It was good stuff. Good dance music.
Great dance music, you're right. Yeah, the opener is top tier. Yeah. I think did they break Dusty's leg? They were on the private jet.
They've just broken Dusty's leg in the Omni, the Andersons and Dusty Rhodes. This same Sky. Not bad, yeah.
Buddy.
No, let's
we still got it.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll find out more. There's a lot going on in this episode. There's Bob Caudle, who's the voice of the Carolinas. There's Dusty Rhodes. There's an update from him. There's the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, Tully Blanchard, the Andersons. But this is territory wrestling at its finest, and I know yours is the last territory.
The last territory, buddy.
Territory. CACW TV if you're looking for them on the socials. But in the meantime, we're going to click play in 3, 2, 1. And you'll see Magnum TA with Baby Doll, who is the perfect 10.
She is tall.
That Magnum would have been world champion if he hadn't had that bad car crash. Oh.
Get back here. My God. Hey? That doesn't look consensual.
Would never happen in 2022.
Thanks, Jack.
I'm trying to think.
You, JJ?
Is that the same with that JJ?
This is the part where I'm like,
yeah, I just do like Chandler dad dancing.
No, you're doing great.
If there's like, it's very Michael Gove.
I mean, it's great. This is the best. Like,
but yeah, the idea of him saying, "I'm going to show you what it's like to be like the real man," and then just kiss her when she said no.
Would never happen today.
The 80s are a different time. Well, we'd hope so, but Matt Riddle may disagree. Magnum TA there with Bob Caudle. Look at the forehead. Oh.
First of all, my forehead's not that big, so I can't like do it properly.
You've got a really small forehead.
You know what?
Wow.
No one really notices that
Look
until
at mine. Fucking hell.
So like, I think it's just like my hairline just cuts in here, and it's really it's 3 here, so it's all right.
That is literally the smallest forehead I've ever seen in my entire life.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank my grandmother because I have her same hairline. But yeah, that line is brother.
That voice is just so cool. It's a young Anderson.
Oh baby.
And
is he 25? Is he 50? Who knows?
And there's double strap in here.
Mm-hmm.
These are the guys, God love them. They're going to get the shit beaten out of them.
Is this like a 2-minute?
I don't know. See, Oldie didn't really like the idea of a 2-3 minute match. He went, why would you have a match on TV if it's going to end in 2-3 minutes?
We saw a lot of that, though.
Not with Oldie Anderson.
I love that they just said with cousin Ric Flair.
So Rick was from Minneapolis, right? He was adopted by a physician. Oh, yeah, a physician and a teacher. But that was when he came into the Carolinas from AWA. He was a cousin of Gene and Oldie Anderson.
And here we are.
Look, I love that old school like Tommy Young with the different kind of like referee shirt.
What is he wearing?
I've not seen that before.
You see the blue collar underneath?
Yeah, I do.
It's a lot going on.
Arm's got like the blade job from the night before plastered up as well.
You see that?
You think how hard the guys, right? I know your boys in CCW. I suppose I said that right. They work hard, but the
Yeah.
guys here 8 days a week, bleeding 4 or 5 days a week in the terror shows, like it was so much tougher back then in the 80s.
So much tougher because, I mean, just think about it, right? Like they're in the territories, they're going one night in one city, they get the hell out of there, they're driving all night. I don't know how are they alive? Like I remember I had a DVD. This was like we're aging ourselves, right? Like the great stars of the 80s, and Arn was one of them. And he's like, if I was at 19 or 20 years old, that life would have killed me back then. Like you wake up, you get on a plane, you go to this town, you wrestle two matches, and then you have another show at night. You wrestle.
I mean,
You
to a
go.
lesser degree, that was my life in the 2016, 2017, 2018. I would go to a race course, like bit different, go to a race course, do a 5, 10 minute interview on TV, hang
Next
around,
stop.
hang around till it finished, and then go to the
Yeah.
next one. Like I've got to travel myself.
Next stop, he's like, we'd get on a plane, we'd go to Vegas, we'd gamble all night, we'd go to the next place, and it's
I'd kind
like
of do that, but not to the same extent.
that's neither here nor there for you. But like in that time too, I mean, we also just had like so much less resources in the 80s, so no one really knew what you were doing, and people didn't really have that same appreciation.
This is my belt, Danny. Let me track this. Well, he just walked out. So, Ollie and Anne don't really have that synchronicity yet.
Yep.
Hence why they kept interrupting each other.
How long have they been tagging together at this point?
About 4 months.
Okay, so they're still new.
Oh my God, look at Tony.
God, it's a TV show.
Oh my God, Tony Schiavone.
Such a baby. Look at that tie, huh?
Look at the stash and the hair. Is it not weird that this is 37 years ago and Tony's still on TBS Sports?
You know what? It's actually really nice to see him back where he belongs on TBS.
I don't like him on commentary though.
The porn star stash just killed it.
The boot.
I was gonna say the boots.
Tony with the mid parting and the blue pants is quite a
the 80s.
So Tony Schiavone, happy birthday. He was actually 65 in the week.
65.
65. So he is 28 here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Fiberglass cast.
But this is going on TBS, right?
I want you to know that those casts, they literally sell them in the CBS now.
But I mean, like, are they just insulting the fans' intelligence here and thinking, like, you don't know anything?
That's an air cast. You get that when you sprain an ankle or something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but Jack, you have to remember, think about this. This is 19, as Peter would say, this is 1980 some. Those are a lot of.
When we get Peter Almeida on the podcast, right? Because he sounds like an absolute hero. Can we get him on till we watch the Barry Windham heel turn?
Barry Windham. He won't act right if he comes on here. No, but like, think about it. Back then, the media, obviously, the media has always been controlled, right?
Yeah.
But especially with wrestling, you only knew what they showed you, right? He's like, this is a fiberglass cast. That shit is plastic. But to them, it was.
It must be true.
Right, exactly. You have no reason to not believe them that it's true.
That's what I mean. When Brett got screwed, right? I remember all the build up to Montreal. But I remember watching Livewire that week, and it was announced was like Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart as Survivor Series, and hit him with the belt. Like, oh, okay.
Control the narrative. That's
Well,
it,
yeah, I
buddy.
know, but I'm saying when you look back and you go, well, that's actually not correct.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be correct. What do they say? History is in
History's written
the
by the winning party.
exactly. So they create the storyline. They wrote that narrative, right? And they lived that narrative after that. So they kept that up. So you have no choice but to believe them because in
Well,
your mind, they're a reputable source.
yeah, I said that about in our last podcast. I was talking about the Monday Night Wars, right? And because JJ was saying, well, I'm thinking this is when the Monday Night Wars truly began, right? And this is like the mid late 97. And well,
Yeah.
the Monday Night Wars started on the 2nd of September 1995 when the pair of them went head to head to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until I want to say like June 96, um, WCW started winning the ratings, and then they won for 83 weeks of the year. But if you listen to WF, no, there's nothing going on at that time.
No, because that's not what it started for them.
Yeah, exactly. The Attitude Era started in like October 97, so really,
Yeah,
we should only count that period.
that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
Duh. Come on. Easy one for them.
This is Billy Jack Haynes, by the way, in case you were
I,
wondering.
I I don't know who he is. This is a big man.
Big man.
Look at that head of hair. I love 80s hair.
Really
What
struggling to stay awake.
now I need to know what would you do if
If
you
I
were
if I had
going
hair,
no that's today or any day. But in the 80s, or as Peter would say, I'm gonna do more
I
Peterisms
think we need
because
more beer out there.
this was Peter's like heyday. So when
Right.
Peter talks about he's like in the Aries,
In
not
the
the 80s,
Aries.
in the Aries, like if you were going bald in a time where everyone's hair was so big and full and rich, what the hell would you do?
Could do what I do now and just pretend, try and overcompensate, pretend it's there. I mean, like it's difficult. I can't remember any bald wrestlers from 1985.
You can't. They
None.
all had beautiful hair.
They would have like weird comb overs and just pretend like,
Like nothing happened.
yeah. What are you talking
Actually, you're
about?
right. They would grow it out. The hair that you had, you would grow it out and you would do something with it.
Well, Macho Man had really, really thin hair, right? And people always say like he was really bald. He had to grow it out down there. Like look at Hulk, right?
Can we?
Hulk.
Can I?
Okay.
You know that Randy Savage is one of the several wrestlers on my list of people that I thought was black growing up.
No, not Randy.
His hair, even the texture, like, did he perm it? I don't know what it was. I know that it was a little spotty, but
Randy.
yes, go back and look at him.
I mean,
You know,
the way he spoke was a little bit more. Oh
also, I have,
yeah.
and you know what's unfair though? Like, I have an uncle who looks just like him.
Okay.
So I thought, shout out to Tutuhui, I thought that he was a person of color because of the way that he looked. And he looked so much like one of my uncles. So I was like, oh, he's brown, his skin's brown, his hair's black, and it has, some texture that looks like ours. I really thought he was a black man, not gonna lie. I'm not ashamed
Okay.
of it. The list is long. Well, as we keep going,
Mark
I'll
Mero's a
keep
new entry,
revealing.
right?
Mark Marrow is on that list. So actually, we had a discussion this week in our group chat, me and my cousins, and I know I sent the picture to you too, right? You and JJ.
He is the man that's got a tan on him.
A proper tan. So I think it was a photo of him and Joe Frazier, if I'm not mistaken. And I sent it in the group chat, and I said,
Two
what
black
race?
men here.
I said, what race do you think these two men are? And lo and behold, everyone thought that Mark Merrill, especially Danny, sorry to put you on the spot, thought that Marc Mero was Black because he presented that way. He was based off of Little Richard, who's a very, famous Black artist.
Mm-hmm.
And he was extremely tan. So we just all thought he was. So the list is growing, brother.
I still can't believe Taz isn't Black. Like that is my mind will forever be not blown on that. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah. When I found out,
he's got an Italian American family. I'm sorry, what?
It took me out.
Italian.
Honestly. I was shocked. But it just goes to show you, you never know.
You never know. Exactly.
You never know. What are you watching?
Watching the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez,
Fernandez.
He's very big around the 85, 86, 87. He's a bit not fun. He had a death match with Tuttle the Butcher at Starrcade 85, and he claims he was going to be on the main event, but Dusty Rhodes kind of screwed him over. I don't
does
think
anyone concur with that story?
Well, no, and I don't think he was going to main event over Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair on cable TV.
Sorry, Manny.
And then he ended up becoming part of the heel stable in 86, and then he became tag champions with Rick Rude in 87, the R&R connection. It's good. They've actually got a very good t-shirt in my store, but sorry for another time.
When I think about the classic wrestlers, right? And this is, vacancies left and right. When I think about the way that you imagine a wrestler's body today versus
Manny Fernandez.
And I want to preface this with I'm not with body shaming wrestlers at all. That's not where I'm going with this. But the wrestlers in the 80s just had such a different physique, right?
Yeah, a bit more thickness to them.
Yeah. They were big, strong men. That wasn't it wasn't a question, but no abs at all. That really wasn't a thing. Unless you were a recruit.
Unless you're a recruit. For me, it's always Arn Anderson was the type of guy where he looks like he's a bit, not hefty, but the man's, he carries himself well.
Right.
Big guy, but he's got a little thick, but a little muscly, but
yeah.
If it comes down to it, he could kick your ass.
He could kick your ass.
If he needed, he's that uncle that his shit starting to go south.
Don't play with him.
Yeah, don't play with Uncle Arn.
So, and the reason why I'm saying this, and I'm gonna go back, this is literally not to body shame anyone on one side or the on one side or the other, is that low key, personally for me, I actually prefer this manlier build because it's just I knew you were gonna do something. I knew you were gonna do something.
I was surprised.
I didn't know it was that.
the chest. We like the chest there, right? I'm extremely hairy, and I was so self-conscious about it. And then a couple of my first girlfriends it's really nice. You should. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Stop being self-conscious. Okay, all right. I'm
not there with the hair, but the build, I don't mind. I think that it looks a little
the filled out is right?
a nicer. It's not a dad bod. It's you're more filled out. A heftier build is actually more attractive to me.
You don't like a don't say Adam Cole. A Dolph
and
Ziggler.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do that. The thing is it nice to look at someone who has abs and all that? Absolutely, yeah. That's beautiful. I'm not saying that. I like a. You
can't play with them though, can you? Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a naughty way. If you're in bed having a cuddle,
yeah,
you stroke someone's belly. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
You are the worst. I cannot.
I'm not even trying to be anything naughty. Genuinely.
Yeah.
You do. You like a little bit of a bit of. Oh, there's nothing I can say that I can retrieve this situation. Oh. It's the same. I don't like skinny girls. It sounds really bad.
Listen, I like girls. I can only speak for myself. So,
you are a spokesperson of Lissy Almeida, not of Santon. Then Santander Incorporated. What is Bob Caudle saying?
World Tag Team Champions. I'm gonna start reporting like this, like when I do my interviews, like just so it's. This is
If
my
you
mic.
started
My
having Bob Caudle's voice, you would do so much better at work.
I will. Lissy Almeida, I'm reporting backstage.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time.
As you well know, the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship has been
vacant for Jim Crockett several months now due to an injury
to the past champion. We have selected
the past champion
to vie for this title. It seems like
surely they can't copyright that. But yeah, Baby Doll was a bit.
Personally, like just because I'm biased and like my mom was
like Baby Doll,
a beautiful woman in the 80s.
Is she not a beautiful woman anymore?
No, my mom was gorgeous. What are you talking about? I look just like her.
Well done, Peter, well done.
Actually, you know what's so funny? Peter says it all the time. He's like, your mother is way more beautiful than any of you guys are. And we're like, wow, that's mean and insulting.
You find those guys right in their 70s who they still think their wife is like, she's the most beautiful woman on the planet.
Peter loves my mom. No, he totally does. Like, Peter loves my mom. He's like, he says all the time, he's like, you guys, you put makeup. You do your eyelashes. I don't do my eyelashes. You do your eyelashes, your hair. He's like, your mother never did any of that stuff. She's so beautiful still. And I'm like, wow, like you really love your wife. Good for you. I'm really happy.
Good for you, Peter. Well done.
Good for you.
Vamos, Pedro.
So I just think like Marion, in my eyes, was a beautiful woman in the 80s. And I'm like Baby Doll is a pretty woman, but I just not 10. 7. Generous 7.
See, again, if you were like an English TV fan, that'd be like Len Goodman. 7. You don't want Strictly Come Dancing, so. Which you should. Strictly Come Dancing is extremely British. You should love it.
I should. You know what? I have to. When I go to Jib, I'm going to spend some time with you guys, and we'll watch some
shit TV. You watch Only Fools and Horses.
Keep me like all up to date on all the junk that I should be watching, and I'll subscribe, and we're good.
I don't watch junk. I mean, I watch Strictly because the missus likes Strictly.
Yeah, that's all of us. Like I watch my junk here too. It's like it's just a guilty pleasure.
And I'm a celebrity.
Are you?
I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Oh, is that what Lorraine's watching tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we just talk about how he cannot cut a promo to save his life?
Yeah.
What is happening?
So he was the protege of Magnum T and Dusty Rhodes, but he was hopeless. Again, they were hoping the size of him, like he's 6'2", young guy.
He was athletic. He was a good wrestler, solid in the ring, but just you lose people on the mic quick.
And as you know, being in the business, you got to be able to talk them in the ring. But right, okay. Speaking of the what is she wearing?
In the ring. It's like just not just from being in the business. It's like fans are captivated by people who can talk.
I thought it was good looking. Yeah, she won a 10.
It's really not to be mean, and I think that I say that a lot because like I don't want to define.
It's a hard one to it's hard, like when you see like Trish back in the day, like wow, yeah, she's
like I'm not the authority on like who's beautiful, who's not beautiful, or anything like that. It's just when you look at her, you're like, okay, she's a nice looking lady. 10?
Really?
Not too sure.
This is Jimmy Valiant and superstar Billy Graham. Like, wow, they are. They go. They are two very tan men right there.
So tan and
they
Jack.
They could be part of Matt Miro's stable.
Oh, stop it! No, see, this is what I need to explain. So there's certain people when they tan, like Randy Savage, right? He gets brown when he tans. There's a brown tan, and then there's like the red undertone tan. Like Billy Graham, regardless of how tan he was, I would know that he is not.
I couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
I think in my head, Macho Man has always been white. He's never looked anywhere near dark.
I always thought in multiple people in my family thought he was black too. It's like Scott Hall. We always thought he was Latino.
But that was from the Razor Ramon vignettes, and they were so well
I know,
done.
but he was brown too.
Yeah, I mean the two big ones are Taz. I can't believe he's not black. I still can't believe it. And Razor Ramon not being Latino.
It hurts. It hurts, I know.
Apart from them two, there's nothing that's like an obvious
what?
Like massive egregious like error.
Maybe it was just me. Maybe it was just me.
But who else apart from Taz and Matt Miro, as we mentioned earlier, Matt Miro. That wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Christ, what are they doing?
What's happening? Is the match over?
I'm not sure. It's like a weird torture rack. Yeah, it is over because Tommy Young's asked him to take them down. There you go. But like, they are both. Oh, weird.
What move was that?
It's like a modified. I mean, was it a submission move?
Yeah, it's not a rack.
No. I'll tell you what, we've got to buy. We go to IKEA at the weekend and buy a new office chair. And thank God, because I have broke my back on this thing this week. Oh my God.
Baby corny.
So corny, right? This promo lasts 2 minutes, and he says about 600 words in 2 minutes. It's unbelievable. Let me track it.
How old is he? 20-some, as Peter would say?
He's 23, yeah.
20-some.
20-some. I'm still shocked in the video from last week, and I'm there talking about Danny fucking Hodge. Do you know Danny Hodge? What do you mean?
Danny Hodge. I love Danny Hodge.
JJ is like,
surprise you sometimes, huh?
JJ is like, I never heard of him.
I know.
I mean, I'd love to like actually watch some wrestling that I did because again, JR makes out like he is the guy.
But you know what the thing is, and I mean this with all due respect, right? JR watching Danny Hodge in the 50s or 60s growing up, hindsight is so different, right? Yeah. Whereas the stuff this stuff in the 80s, in the 80s
stuff,
in the 80s or in the 90s, yeah, it's so different than watching wrestling today. So a kid today is probably like, oh, that wrestling from the 90s is shit. Whereas they're so used to the flips and the fast pace and the boom, 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 right? Whereas we're like, oh no, they did these moves, they did those moves or whatever, or just the style is so different that we may not actually appreciate as much going back, right? Like when you think of like wrestling, one of the greatest champions ever, Luthez, his moves were so basic, but at that time it was so innovative because it's like, would you rather watch Luthez do a Thez press or like watch Gotch hold somebody in a bear hug for 60 minutes? Yeah. So it's hard it's almost impossible to compare generations, to be honest. So well, yeah, I think let's stick with what we're doing. Let's stick to what we're good at.
Terry Taylor's just won that match with the top rope superplex, so
right, and that would never be a finisher today, but back then that was impressive. It's a lot going on.
Tommy Young's so good. Wow, that's quite the jacket.
JJ looks the same age today as he did back in 1985. I love his glasses though; they're really cute.
JJ it was the week when Eric Bischoff got suspended by Dr. Harvey Schiller.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like early 97 on Nitro.
Yep.
And the guy who makes it is Mean Gene by saying, he comes out and goes, Eric Bischoff, that's your boss, Dr. Harvey Schiller, the president of TBS Sports. If he's out here, you're in trouble. So anyone watching at home immediately goes, oh, he done fucked up. Like, this guy here is not a guy you fuck around with.
Yeah, he's not the one.
And they're chatting away, and every time Mean Gene is like, he's putting the things that aren't being said in between. So like, oh my God, he's basically saying, Eric Bischoff, you are suspended until indefinitely, whatever.
Right. So
Gene is the guy who's like, what am I trying to say? I don't know. But anyway.
The bearer of bad news or whatever. Yeah.
No, he's connecting the dots. There you go.
Yep,
Gene's the guy who is, for the audience out there who don't, again, if your audience don't know what's going on and they don't know this is Harvey Schiller, whatever.
Why would they know who he is?
Exactly. He's like, this is your boss. If he's out here, you are in trouble. And then he basically comes out and says, like, yeah.
But also, I think that just as a person watching, right, you don't even think that someone on a wrestling show has accountability to a network executive.
Of course, yeah.
Like that, right? You're like, this just plays on this channel. What does that have to do with
the wrestling show? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Gene was so good. But you go back and watch anything, Gene would just put things together so well. Like he's literally. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you've got big shoes to fill, but Gene does it on a different level to everyone.
No, Mean Gene was a once in a lifetime talent.
I think so.
It is, right? Like Mean Gene, JR, once in a lifetime talent. Like there's just certain people that like you just can't even aspire to be like them because you'll set yourself up for failure.
I'm not sure about what Magnus wearing here. It's very like Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. He's ready to go hunting. I don't know. Is that the Barbarian?
Not the cast.
Not the cast. I love how in the 80s and early 90s, like a cast was a weapon.
Well, that SmackDown show we watched 20 years ago, right?
Yes.
Is that an offensive weapon?
Is it? It is. Can he use the cast?
He can use the cast. The Barbarian became like what, tag partners with Meng, Haku, Face of Fear.
No. Rewind. The Warlord.
Was it?
Yes.
You sure?
Google it. Come on, guys.
Right. Okay. I think it was Bob.
And Baron was there. Baron von Ratsky was their manager.
In the 90s.
Come on.
You've gone full Peter Almeida this podcast.
I know. I'm in Aries mode.
Well, come on. What's he doing? Is he retired now?
Who? Peter?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Peter is 69. He's still going to work because he has nothing else.
I imagine him to be like retired but bored with life.
No, he's still going to work because he has nothing to do. He said he's going to be fully retiring in 23. Let's see if he's serious about it. Doubtful. Poor guy. Have you fact checked me yet?
I'm looking at the powers of pain here. Powers of pain, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Haku and the Barbarian.
No, the powers of pain were the Barbarian and the Warlord, and they were managed by Master Fuji.
Oh, I know. I was talking about WCW. I said the powers of. I meant I think I meant the Face of Fear.
Yes. That was a play on that later.
Okay. I meant the tag team with him and Haku.
No. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm saying from here, this was 85. The Powers of Pain started probably like the late 80s. And it's actually funny because
they started in 85.
Started. I need to
They
be in
started in 1985 when the Queen was just 45 years old and was the heir to the throne.
First of all, the Queen was like 60.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I said it.
But yeah.
Did you see King Charles was getting egged out in England yesterday?
Yes. These people are monsters.
Did they know who they're dealing with?
Like, it's just nonsense. Like,
it's true.
Find something else to do.
Will you be watching the latest series of The Crown?
Jack, if I wasn't podcasting with you right now, I would be in my bed watching it.
Diana looks so accurate. It's ridiculous.
It's so good.
I don't know who the actress is, but she's magnificent.
So right now, I'm in a space where I'm debating between should I binge it all at once, one day, one and done, or should I watch a couple episodes a night and space it out? TBD.
Space it out.
I don't know. But then I want to have it done so that when I go, I can talk to Lorraine about it. So
we've not watched it yet, so you're fine.
So we have some time. Okay.
If we start watching it, we will watch it all. She has no.
I have no chill.
She's terrible at like delayed gratification, right? Yeah. So.
And that's how I am. Like I won't watch a show all season so that I can binge it on a weekend after 6 months of it being on TV.
The good old days of not having kids. Yeah. We would go through a whole series on a Sunday in the good old days, you know.
It's amazing. Highly recommend.
In the morning, maybe some pancakes, and then watch a series, 6 in the afternoon. And maybe like a nice roast dinner at night.
That's how George got here.
Good old days. Yeah, we have great Sundays now, you know.
Yeah.
Swings and ice creams, yeah.
A lot of crying.
A lot of crying. Mainly from me, but you know.
I was gonna say.
Another Crown. We will. So I would go away and work away a lot for work, right? I would come back and she would gone ahead and watch like 10 episodes.
Can you blame her?
Of whatever we're watching, and then it was my fault. So you weren't here.
Yeah, you missed it. Sorry,
but we agreed to watch together. Well, I got bored. Okay.
Sorry. Can't.
So I think we may try and watch this in the week.
Okay, I'm excited.
Do you like Manny Fernandez's ring gear here, by the way?
I'm not really sure what look he's going for. I see the bandana. I see the leather.
He speaks a lot of Spanish.
Still not sure what look he's going for, but all right. We'll see you next weekend.
We'll see you next. I am so tired. I'm sorry if I've been disgraced this episode. It's 2:10 in the morning. I'm
Yes, very late in the
I was awake at 5 o'clock by Lorraine snoring, so
in the territory of am I saying it right? The territory of Gibraltar.
In Gibraltar. The British overseas territory, which is ridiculous, really. Like Gibraltar is in Spain. But they just claimed it. Ours now.
This is fine.
What did you think of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, Lissy?
So there's a soft spot in my heart for this time in wrestling. I do think personally it's missing something. I didn't really see star power.
No Dusty, no Ric Flair. There was no Road Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm missing that. I mean, I love seeing Terry Taylor. I love him.
Jim Cornette, Magnum TA.
Red Rooster days. Yeah, all
the
that.
Andersons.
We're just missing, like, everybody was kind of just like on the same level, right? We're missing that big star. And even if it's a short show, Dusty would come out and he would do his little razzle dazzle and you know, just take everybody away. So definitely missing that.
We will try and build on it next week. Fingers crossed. I think next week is when you saw the official release of the Hard Times promo on syndicated TV. I know, 16th of November. It was actually filmed on the 29th of October and then released on the 16th of November
Why do you know that? Just like, why do you know that?
I've done a lot of stuff with Jim Crockett Promotions. I'm really sad, okay?
You just know too much.
I know too much. But we will hopefully watch that next week when John will be in a company. It may even be in the flesh. We may even do it live and in colour, as Dusty Rhodes would say, from Lissy's hotel room.
Mila does this. Mila's so cute. When you say it's hard to smile, she's like, yes.
Next level excitement. But we will have more from that next week. In the meantime, she's been Lissy Almeida. I've been Jack Milner. And we will see you soon.
Bye.
Ta-ra.